It's December 1st. Welcome to VLOGMAS 2022. Christmas. I love Christmas. I love the whole event. I love getting my house ready. I love baking. I love cooking. I love having family and friends over for Christmas. But this year, as with the last couple of years, things will be different. So, the way I always start Christmas is cloving oranges. It's the very first thing that I do. There's no other decorations up in my house just yet. I know some people already have their homes up, all decorated, and their trees up, and lights on, and everything. But we're going to take a little journey together over the next 30 days and enjoy Christmas one day at a time, just a little bit every day. So I'm not having coffee this morning because I'm having tea as I have a bit of a cold. So you'll notice that I occasionally will cough, but I will try not to do it into the mic because that would be bad. But the very first thing we do is I clove oranges. I've already cloved a few. They only last a season. I know there are things you can do to make them last a bit longer, but I don't do that. I like the act of actually cloving every year. And as they get warm, the scent in the house just is miraculous. So, as we talked this morning, we're going to get started with this one. If you've never cloved oranges before, it's no big deal. A couple of little tiny tips. I would never use grocery store cloves that come in those little tiny bottles with only a few. You'll notice I've got tons here. I actually have lots more. And this is the kind of the end of the stash I've had for the last couple of years because I haven't gone out to buy any. I tend to get my cloves from Asian markets and get large packets. You want to look at the packet kind of carefully because you want to make sure that as many as possible have the larger bud on it, like that, because it's just much prettier with it being the buds. When the buds fall off, they look like this. And the thing is there's nothing wrong with them, and I'll save them and grind them up or use them in other baking or for dotting hams or whatever. But you want this kind because I think it's just prettier. So we'll start with this one. And I tend to start anywhere. This one is a fairly traditional orange pattern, but it doesn't matter. And I thought we would do just a freeform one today, or start to do a freeform one. And so here we go. So Christmas for me is just a lovely time of the year. When I was little, my mom decorated a lot. She decorated for Christmas till the day she died. And I suspect she's still decorating. That would be my guess. But I just love the smell of this. This always says to me Christmas first thing. Is it get the oils from the orange and the cloves get into your fingers, and not only does it make your house smell fabulous for the whole holiday season. Ooh, yeah, that's got one. I could use that. But it makes your hands smell wonderful as well. And that's quite great. I love that part. I love walking around during the day and having my hands have the little smell of cloves on it. Like I said, these are kind of the end of the ones that I've had for the last several years because I bought a lot a couple of years ago. I made a whole table center that was based on a Martha Stewart idea, which I thought was really yummy. There'll be a picture later. You can have a look. And it just makes the house smell glorious. And I'm just putting them in anywhere really. I've got kind of a plan in my head, but I don't really care. It's not gonna going to be anything particular. I'm just spacing them out, actually. Here. Like I said, I don't keep them year to year because they tend to go bad. And I will put the first couple on my the tops of my radiators so that the smell starts to get into the house even faster. I probably make 8 to 10 a year. You can use limes, lemons, grapefruits, oranges, clementines, whatever you like, whatever you got. And then I just dot them around the house because they just smell yummy. But this is the start of my holiday season. Every year, always this. Well, things are changing for me. This will be my third Christmas as a widow. I don't use the word very often, but there it is. It's okay, and nobody needs to feel sorry for me. I had a good life with my husband, and I have good friends. But I have decided and going to make some major changes in my life. And I know it's not the greatest time of the year to put your house on the market, but I've decided to move. I love this house. And Chris and I worked really hard to bring the house up to date. New heating, moved some walls, opened some walls, closed some walls. It was a great house in terms of the footprint, but it was kind of arranged in a funny way, and not everything that had been done as DIY from previous owners was done, let's put it this way, it wasn't really done very well. Actually, it was done really badly. And so we didn't get quite as far as we would have liked. And now I'm in a position where I don't have the funds or the wherewithal to make the house what I envisioned it to be when we first looked at it. But I have enjoyed the journey in this house. The view of the hill that we have from our living room, because we live on the next hill over, is, well, I never tire of that view. And when I do move, it will be one of the major things that I miss about this place, is that view is glorious, no matter what the weather, no matter what the time of year. And I will miss it a lot. But kind of time to move on. Chris died the autumn before the pandemic. And that Christmas, that first Christmas, I spent with my cousin and her family. And they were gracious to let me in to stay with them. I stayed with them for almost a month. I very seldom go anywhere for a month. And my very, very kind neighbors took care of the kittens, or my cats. Yes, it is so quintessential little old lady, isn't it? Excuse me. While I was gone. At the time, they were living in a really beautiful part of New York, upper New York State, which was in a mid-century modern house of note on a lot of land. And my cousin, to say that she left food out for the wild animals would be an understatement. It was a huge tray every night for the raccoons and the possums and skunks, and she could actually go out and sit with them. They all had names. They all turned up at the door. It was just the best. It was such a fun thing to see. The house was beautiful. Really, really beautiful house. Again, with really lovely views. And I was there for a month. And I came back and was just about to get back into work. And the pandemic happened. And we were all in lockdown. And we were in lockdown the following Christmas. That was 2 Christmases. And so I spent Christmas Day alone. And that's not a bad thing. In fact, it was really quite nice. So although I will see friends over the holidays, I'll spend Christmas Day on my own. It was really fun or funny that I got up on Christmas morning, fed the boys because the cats ain't gonna wait. They get something special on Christmas Day as well. And although I like and enjoy a good turkey roast, I have to decide whether or not I'm going to have turkey this year or not. The thing about Christmas Day that I like more than anything else was my mom's sausage stuffing, which was kind of the normal thing for our family. I put a few extra things in depending on how I'm feeling every year. But I love the stuffing part, so I made myself stuffing. That's what I had. And I made a couple of other things that I like as well, but mainly it was the stuffing. So I'm going to do that again this year because it's the part I enjoy the most. And I'm going to have homemade eggnog, the real stuff. And what else am I going to have? Olive baked bread and some other things. More about how that works as we progress through the season. But you can just put cloves in anywhere. I've sometimes done them with this and then put a little smiley face here. They don't have to be symmetrical. They just have to be wherever you feel like putting them in. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Nothing has to be perfect. So I think we're going to just stop there because I don't want this to go over 10 minutes a day and a session or thereabouts. So from my corner of the universe to yours, happy holiday season. Woohoo! It's that time, Advent calendar. I looked really hard for an Advent calendar that would keep me interested and be fun for the whole month. So I got Mr. Ducky Advent calendar. I'm so excited. Here we go. Let's open number 1. And there he is. It's Little Green Ducky. Looks like he should glow in the dark. How cute are you? Hello, Mr. Doggy! Woohoo!